Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Here you are tonight. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I come on here every night about this time. I'm on every evening at 7 p.m. for 1 hour. During the daytime, I'm on a second time at 10 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. They're all 1 hour live streams. It's 14 live streams a week. And I've been doing this now since October of 2023. And it's all about how to fight CPS. I also incorporate some life skills and talk about adult protection services and evictions. Pretty much, I try to make every show different. It starts off different. There are 5 rules that I've come up with that will help you with your case. I wish I had followed them myself because I too am a victim, just like you all, of CPS. And what I mean by a victim of CPS, all of you have something in common, including me. We were fooled or duped by a rogue CPS entity, meaning that they took our children that weren't in danger, that they do not believe in family reunification, and it's been a miserable experience of how they treated us as parents and as families, as human beings. It's an awful thing to be approached by a government entity that is very powerful. Social services is a government agency. It's being investigated right now as I speak. It's been investigated for the last couple of weeks because I know I was talking to an intake worker at social services, and a supervisor from the Department of Government Efficiency came on the line and said, I'm here to listen to make sure that you're treated fairly as a citizen of the United States. Now, I want to emphasize the word citizen. For so long, we've been very open about allowing anybody come in here and suddenly get citizen rights. Now, that is a life skill, talking about immigration. And I know it's a very volatile topic, but it has always, since the start of the time, since the early 1600s to the present, we have immigrated here to the United States. We are actually the third group of immigrants. The first were the Native American Indians that came here from Asia across the land bridge and settled in North America and then moved south to South America, and then branched out through the oceans and the Kon-Tiki expeditions and the Raw expeditions, which were scientific expeditions that show that people could come from Africa to South America, and people from South America could settle the islands in the South Pacific. People were immigrating all over the place in the beginning of time. It all started in Africa with the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve started. And I know that religion is also another volatile topic, but man has been going there. Well, the children have been with man since the dawn of time. Now, all through the centuries of time, they've been more as a commodity to families because they provide extra labor and help on the farms or the crops or the food they gather, taking care of the little ones and so forth. So, welcome, Mullen Lynn Autumn. And I certainly can try my best to help you, Mullen. I'm trying to understand. I guess your name is Rachel Panchica or Summons Bradshaloo. Can you help me? I would love to help you. And by the way, we have had over 2,500 people come in here, and from all walks of life. Mostly they have something in common. It's the low income. And I'm sad that the majority of people involved in CPS are low income. And you'd think that why would they be involved in low income, not the rich? Because the rich can hire an attorney, and that's one of the things you have a disadvantage. You cannot hire an attorney. You're forced to accept what social services gives you, a court-appointed attorney. You see, your constitutional and your civil rights guarantee that through all legal proceedings you have representation. Well, child protection agency has gotten so corrupt. I would not say all of child protection is corrupt, but a lot of them is. I would say almost half of them is. I'd almost say that child protection agency because I've had 2,500 people. That's 2,500 agencies. Uh, Welcome. Your name is Autumn. All right, Autumn. Glad to meet you, Autumn. I'm in Davenport, Iowa, Scott County. All right. Thank you. You did the directions great. By the way, I have the banner up, and this is one of the ways you can interact with this live stream. There's many ways you can interact. One is to text me a message, which Autumn is doing. And it's all right there. Just follow the directions. And when I say country, I don't mean, Autumn, that you have to give the country the United States, because I know that Iowa is in the United States. It's for the people outside of the United States, because I have right now 22 countries, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, up to the Middle East to Saudi Arabia to Libya, over to the continent of Africa to Liberia, then down to um, oh boy, the Congo of the Republic of the Congo, Sudan. That's what I'm trying to think of. Sudan, Rwanda, Mozambique, and then the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe, I have England, the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, I have Canada, its provinces. Of course, I have the U.S. and all 50 states have called it. In fact, even Washington, D.C. has. South of border, been Mexico. Then further south, I've had Grenada, which is north of Brazil on the east coast in South America. Then across the South Pacific, I've had New Zealand, and the land down under Australia with its states. So that's a lot of representation here. And all of them have something in common. We're fighting a rogue CPS. Now, you can't tell or do not know what is a bad CPS or a good CPS. It's hard to get off there. Now, Autumn says, I just got my son wrongfully kidnapped by and in her place, they call their CPS, the Child Protection System, the Department of Health and Service, DHS. And for all practical purposes, I use the CPS, the letters CPS to stand for the Department of Children Systems. Child Protection Systems, not the department, the Child Protection Systems. And in her Count of the Woods, it's called DHS, Department of Children and Health Services. I think that's what it's called, DHS. Anyway, Autumn, they have trafficked their child, probably put him into foster care. Now, Autumn says they terminated my parental rights wrongfully with no reason, evidence, no facts. That's typical of their MO. That's typical of a bad child protection system. And placed him with his narcissist active using me. Boy, I'm trying to understand this thing here. I don't know if this is the father or the mother of the child talking. I don't know who they're going to place it with. Help me out. They actually recently changed their name to HHS. Don't worry about it. Just right now, just say CPS. We all know what you're talking about. But Adam, are you the mother of the child or the father of the child? A methane user. Okay. All right. Um, Got to watch your emotions. Many of you are so angry, and I know it is. And hello, Brandy Mosley. Welcome back. I know the judges are bad, they lie. It's terrible that our system, when they're going to investigate a family, that one man makes the decision, and it's the judge. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be a jury trial, but they don't allow a jury trial. Texas, I think, is the only state that does. I think you have to request it. Okay, you're the son's mother. So I assume that the um, child has been placed with the father, who is, I guess, into a lot of drugs. So there's some anger there. Okay, how did it start? Now, besides text me a message, you can also be in my show as a guest. To be on my show, to be a guest, just read the banner and it'll tell you to contact my show producer, Grace. And you just pick her one of the 14 shows that I'm on during the week. Just want to be on Bob's Sunday night show, Bob's Saturday morning show, Bob's Wednesday morning show, Bob's Monday night show. You just pick the day of the week, 7 days, and it's either morning or evening. And she'll send you the link to come on. What's the application we use is called SteamYard. SteamYard is the application we use. So you be given that link and you get on and get knocked off. You can use the link again. It's good for the show. Well, you shouldn't go to the court of appeal. I need to know where you're at in your case. You appeal anything's wrongly against you, and you have to go to court of appeals. And the judge seemed so one-sided, and so was. I got to put these comments up here. I have a program called Beta here on Steam Live, SteamYard. They'll do it. Yes, the judges can be very cold and rude. See, what they've done now is they make it virtually impossible for you to get your kids. It's all one side. You just have a judge that doesn't care. And I would say 50% of the judges are bad out there, and 50% of the social workers are bad, and 50% of the child protection system are bad. Why do I use the word 50%? Because last year, of all the incidents that were called in, half of them were wrong, and they're all done by professional, not the lay people, the professional. The lay people is more like 75% wrong. They only get right 25% of the time. So you got yourself a bad, and it doesn't matter what country you're in, what state you're in, what county you're in. There's enough of them. There's over 2,500 of them that are bad. And that's from talking to people like yourself. Now, that's great. I'll leave it on there for a second, Autumn. The email address for my producer is grace@vincentwdavis.com. Okay, Mullen Autumn says, I've appealed to wait for the answer. Well, you need to start at the beginning of your case so I can understand it. Now, Autumn she's a mother from Iowa. And something that her child is now placed with, I assume, is the father. I don't know if you guys were married. Is he the biological father? Is he a stepfather? But supposedly, I guess he had a drug problem. Now, she'll go over the rules of what you can do on the show or not. We have no profanity allowed in this live stream. There's no eating or smoking on the live stream. We do not use the names of children, judges, or social workers in the live stream. Now, another way to interact with this live stream is to call in to my number. My number is 626-698-0990. That's 626-698-0990. And my phone is on, and it's taking phone calls. It's taking phone calls. And I don't bite. I love to have you call in, and I give you plenty of time to talk and so forth. Now, one thing I like to point out, there's another number there in red and white. It's 888-888-6582. That's the law office of my attorney, Vincent W. Davis. He's the one that helped me get my family back together. He's the one I hired. And so he puts on the live stream. He does live stream himself. He has other people do them too. And you can call that number to talk to Vincent Davis. He's a $500 an hour attorney. The attorneys range from $200 to $1,000. So he's the mid-range. And if you want to hire him for LA County in California, which is where he works out of, his minimum retainer for a case is approximately $5,000. That's to start the case. That doesn't mean how much the case is going to cost. It may not cost that much. But that is the range. Now, $5,000 is a lot of money to come up with. I know most people don't have it. But your family is the most important thing in your life. His background. Well, he once was foster care himself as a child. And he was taken from his parents. I guess his parents weren't all that great. But he got an education, and he is schooled and trained in the area of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. He's a trial attorney. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years, and he's gotten back thousands of children. CPS do not like him. In fact, they actually have their workers trained by watching his live streams. And so they know the ploys or things he does to help out families hang on to their children or get their children back. But he's a pit bull, a fighter. He's a kind man, and he'll talk to you. Now, I have other ways of talking to him for free. I have other ways. Not only he's $500 an hour, I'm just saying it out front there, is that he'll talk to you for free for 15 minutes in a private Zoom consultation. All you have to do is call in at my number and talk on the show or be a guest, and you get a free 15-minute private consultation. I have to set that up with my show producer. So it involves you sending me certain things. And I would ask you at the end of your conversation if you want to speak to him. Now, if you want to talk to him longer than 15 minutes, he's not a clock watcher, but for 30 minutes for $60, he can talk. $60 for 30 minutes. And I have it right here. I'm going to put it up here on the screen. Here we go. There's the banner of it. You just go to that website. You set up yourself. Canley.com is a website. And there you go. You can talk to him for 30 minutes for $60. So that's another, Autumn, that's another website, Canley.com. Let me put my number back up here. The banner at the bottom of the screen is talking about other ways. It's not mandatory that you contribute or donate it, but he has on there that he'll do a phone call on here. Not a Zoom thing, but a phone call. And you pay him. Let me see here. Yeah, at $10 for a chance for a private text reply from attorney Vincent Davis. $15 for a private call. So you have a private text for $5 and a private call for $15. And then you can be a guest on the show for a 35-minute show for $25. So he has all kinds of specials. That's the things that are going through the bottom. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the messages again on my screen. Well, Autumn, you don't need to send the email unless you talk on my show or that you're, you want to be a guest. I'm sorry, that's right. You want to be a guest. And if you're a guest, you sent the email to her. You picked one of my times. I'm glad you did. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Your step isn't going to federal court yet. I need to know where you're at in the beginning. I need to know your whole story. All I've heard is that there's a bad father. I don't know if you guys are married, separated, your lovers, boyfriend, girlfriends, or whatever. I don't know all the details. I don't know what stage. Are you still in family reunification? Have you had your termination hearing? Your TPR? There's lots of things I need to know more on them. And hello, Dream Forever. That's an interesting name, Dream. I can pronounce that pretty good. But Dream, where are you from? Where are you from, Dream? I need to know the city and the state or the country if you're from outside of the United States. And some about your case. But welcome. I have Autumn, who's new tonight, and she's from Iowa. She's a mother who lost her child. I just have this new person um, named, where did he go? Dang it. I had here a second here. Dream Forever. That's right. And so welcome to In There, Dream. We don't know where you're at, but it'd be nice. And then we have Autumn say her name is Patricia Goatsky Shirley. I it's so hard, Autumn. I don't know if I should call you Lynn or Mullen or Autumn or Gwensky or Patricia or Shirley. But anyway, and Dream Forever, I have no idea what your name is or what part of the world you're from. Now, how can we get the help of a lawyer? Well, that's a good question. To get the attorney, you have to learn how to use the internet. Now, I have one here. I've introduced you. His name is Vincent W. Davis. He'll practice law in every state. He's gone to every state. He practices law around the country. He's one of the best. He does civil lawsuits where he's won back millions of dollars after your case is over. But he's a real juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer. That is the area you're in. You have to understand the area you're in. You're not in criminal law. A criminal attorney will not work. And you certainly don't want to use the attorneys that CPS offer you. They'll take you down, these court appointed attorneys. They won't fight for your case. They're not trained in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. They're trained maybe in criminal law if you're lucky. But they're so case loaded with 30 to 100 cases, they don't have time for you. And they just show up at every court hearing in the courtrooms. And so they don't have time to talk to you outside of the court. Okay. Dream is from Yo County, California. Yolo County, California. And you've been speaking with us. Well, you must have used a different name because I would have remembered Dream Forever. So anyway, I'm glad you're back here. I'm glad you're in a room. And Lynn is here. She's a mother. She has a bad case from Iowa. And we have Brandon Mosley. And Brandon, I forgot where you're from. Could you tell us, Brandon, where you're from? I forgot. And has a terrible time with a judge. And you definitely have to do appeal. Anytime you have some things convicted against you, you need to do appeal. You cannot forget that. You need to do appeal. Ah. Mhm. Yes, everybody lies in the CPS system. No question about that. No question about that. Now, I have a running time right now. We've been talking for about 25 minutes. I have my clock time and shows we've been on for 41 minutes. No, not on, but that's my time started at 7 o'clock. I do have to end the show at 8 o'clock. But if we have a good discussion going, we'll keep going for a good 60 minutes. Ugh. So Lynn Autumn is the mother of her son who was taken from her, put with her biological father. I don't know, not Lynn's biological, the son's biological father. And I don't know if they were married or their girlfriend, boyfriend, or fiance, or whatever the situation was. Now, you have appealed. Well, what was your appeal on, Lynn Autumn? What was your appeal? We don't necessarily have to go to federal court. Your first step is you try to work with the agency. If they're a rogue agency, you get yourself a professional attorney to help work with you. And I have one here I've talked about, Vincent W. Davis. He's a candidate, but you should try to get two more. You should always do shop around for three attorneys and get the pricing. Price will run all over the place. So when you buy things, you always get three. You get three opinions. And you're at the right place, Dream Viewer. To get help is right here. I will help you. Well, if you don't have funding for a lawyer, I'm here. And I'll tell you about how to get funding. I'll tell you about how to get funding and how to get an attorney. I have lots of ideas I can. And it is a terrible thing that we have this corrupt agency. They are being investigated by DOJ, the Department of Government Efficiency. And they're investigating, I know right now, because social services, I was on the line to social service, an intake worker, and a supervisor came on and said that she was with the Department of Government Efficiency in Washington, D.C., the White House. It's an agency that Trump created, and it has a website. In fact, I'll put it up here for a second. I always have the end of my show, but let me go ahead and get it and put it up here. DOJ is where the buck stops. This is the last resort you can go to. They have a website, doge.gov. It's an excellent website. It tells you what they're doing, how they solved, how they escaped money. And then if you want to talk to somebody, there's the phone number. It's a White House number 202. There's two phone numbers. And they also have an email, Doge. Email as doge at mail.house.gov. So you can write to them, send everything. But there is kind of your last resort. You don't want to necessarily go there because you try to do it in a couple ways. Now, I'm going to put my number back up there because I really like for you guys to call in. The way it works when you work as CPS, you have your social workers, you have your supervisors, and then you have a director. The only problem is if the director is bad and the supervisors are bad, you're going to have a bad case. And it is. A lot of them are bad out there. Mine was. Mine was from the Orange County Child Protection Services, CPS, and it was bad. Next door is the LA County, and they are the Department of Family and Child Services. There's so many different names. I don't want to get into all the different names. I mean, there's the cabinet in Kentucky. So just say CPS, the Child Protection System. Every county has one. If you have 100 counties in North Carolina, you'll have 100 CPSs. In California, there's only 58, so you have 58 CPSs. But I already know that most of California is bad. The counties that I've heard bad reports for is LA County, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, Kern County, Santa Barbara County, Ventura County, Oxnard County. It goes all over. It's Kern County. So all the different counties. And I have a person here named Dorothy who is on with me a lot, who narrates and sums up a lot of what I said. And she has a lot of counties there. She can tell you about 100 counties. Okay, I'm sorry you're tired, Dream. I know it's hard fighting these cases here. Let me catch up because so many of you are coming on so fast and strong. It's hard. It's hard for me to answer everybody at once. So Mullen or Autumn, Lynn Autumn or Lynn, her partner or wherever he was there was a meth user. And O'Brien said the judges are bad. And let me see here. I agree the judges are one side and so rude. No, your next step isn't to go to federal court yet. Now, Dream Forever is in hiding. Who are you hiding from? And hello, Cruella, do a trick. And she calls me Uncle Bob. She's in here twice a day. Good evening, and this is Bob Pace, and welcome to my live stream. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Every day's been a struggle,
I'm sorry to hear that.
here. That's me. Okay, well, find little dead end jobs for every day and then another job to pay you off.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Were the injuries bad or?
They
Yes, God did protect you. God did protect you.
they 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 think just for me to be turning 16 November, and you would think you would just they say we want his verification fees in school and he needs to call the attorney he has to say he's safe. You guys been doing this how many times? And y'all jeopardize his safe education. So I had to pull him out of school and go into hiding completely. And they know that. But you want to keep the ball going off this, and if it's that simple just to close the case, then why are we even here?
Well, I'd had to get back into your case, and you're calling on the phone, and so you seem like you have older children. Now, when they're 18, they don't have to deal with CPS anymore.
No, but I still have my
How old is how old is your youngest son? How old is your youngest son? How old is your youngest son?
He's 15, to be 16 in November.
Okay. Right.
They
Oh,
posted, slow down a lot because of that. But extended the email every day, about 2-3 times a day.
okay.
But I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, have they terminated your rights yet?
I think they do they were treating my case as they had a family in San Francisco ready to join my teenage children that, that are so lovely. It's intelligent. I had them in sports, cheerleading and football. You know, even throughout all this, my daughter has graduated. Thank God. But unfortunately, I'm having some struggle with my son because of how hard they're trying to help me down. They got me tied up. I don't know if you recall with a BS DUI, and and the judges are correlated, and they're in and out that case, and they have no evidence that I did the appeal. I won the appeal. By the way, Bob, I did win the appeal, but the appeal attorney told me out her own mouth in my ear, they're gonna get you no matter what. It doesn't matter. You don't get a retrial when you come back into court. They're gonna stick the charge to you to where you can't get it off of you, which sounded crazy to me. So I've been stuck in this limbo since.
Well, they're very vindictive. They're vindictive. You're right. They do retaliate.
And that's what I've been going through. I was remembered attacked by Sacramento police 2019 when I thought it was safe to go back home after COVID, kind of after I got some letters. They attacked, Yolo County attacked me in 21. And they came after my children, saying how I talked to them, and the police determines how I handle my children, which is bogus. That's a violation of my rights. You're supposed to have you're supposed to have evidence based, not bias based. And the whole case is bias based. And I know this because I studied a human service degree starting 2014 at Napa Community College. And they told us to be aware of these situations arise.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know what else to do, Bob. So if you can help me, I know you got this show going. At this point, all I can think is pro bono, or else I'm still doing the dance until my son sees me. And we really want our lives back.
Yeah.
And we're terrified every time we make a step.
Right. Well, we don't do pro bono. I do give a lot of free information on this show because I've been doing this now for 21 months, and I've never asked a dime from anybody. And I do try to help you all with your case, and like you calling on the phone, and we could go someplace I can look it up. Everything. I want to welcome Tony the Tiger from Ostenago, New York, Cassandra, who just came in my room, Corella from Oxnard, California, up north in Ventura County. Welcome. These are other people that have come in here. And so we have a lot of people in the room tonight from all around the country, all around the world. I don't think I've had any of my country friends in here. We have one emoji. Thank you for the thumbs up from Summer Brad's Howe. Summer Brad's Howe. Thank you for the thumbs up. That's a nice emoji. We have on the phone right now, we have Autumn, or do you like to be called Lynn? What do you like to be called? Oh, wait, your Dream. I'm sorry, Dream. Yeah, okay, right. I'm sorry. That's right, Dream. Oh, yeah. I know that people have to hide even because CPS will listen to my show. They do. No, and the people don't understand. Well, how do they get money? Well, because the government is so loose. It sends billions of dollars to the state. The state sends millions of dollars to the county. It's $1 trillion business. It's cash flow freely. There's no check and balances. There's no supervisors, no district directors. There's nobody's a watchdog of how the funding is being spent. I know there's one incident where they're trying to track $1 million was sent to Richmond, Kentucky, and they found 400,000 of it, but it was with a social worker who embezzled the funds. So it's sad because the money they get. So every child they get in, they get $20,000 just to get per month to help take care of that child. And then if it, wow, wow, yeah, that is tough. That is tough, Dream. That really is.
You can't one. Two, they're so that they did put my children in hotel rooms for 3 nights. There was a male and 2 females with both my children, my daughter before she turned 18.
Yeah, I know you have to deal with the corruption part.
So yeah, because they're not supposed to these children. They you know, they supposed to be underneath them. Luxury, and it wasn't no Motel 6 or nothing. It was a luxury hotel, something I used to, you know, when I used to make good money, I would pay for, like 4-star, 5-star hotel.
Yep.
But I'm just that Bob. I don't know what else to do. Yes, I do have my kids while fighting them. Thank God. My suggestion to anybody, I'm not trying to say fight the government or do in the manners I'm doing, but my children are everything to me. And I don't know these people from Adam Eve. And I rather have my children than and them figure out what they're going to do than them being their care and anything to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trust and believe is hard when you go this route because I can't go for no government assistance anything. I gotta watch my paper trail. It's been hard, Bob.
Yes, I can know it has been really hard. What we can do is we can talk about each child. Now you only have one child still in custody of CPS,
Yes.
correct? All right. And
yes, and they're trying
so
to
oh, why would they want a 60-year-old boy? He's 2 years is going to be on his own. There's no reason why they should do that.
they're they did to me, but there's corruption everywhere. So I guess it just depends who you come.
Yeah.
You remember that they're in jail cell because they kidnapped my children for the second time, and they sent me in Sacramento jail. And then DA Sacramento kicked me out their jail 30 minutes before I had to go to court, telling
Wow.
me and the father of my children that they're in a business of winning, not losing, and they could never see me or him in any courtroom. So that means the case that this Yolo County House is beyond, but nobody's helping.
Wow.
And the judge that's over my case is, I can't see his name, but I know for a fact when I did my research, he was up under a governor that was in LA who used to be an actor and worked with him for over 10 years.
Yeah, that's the trouble. We have the way CPS is structured. They only used one judge to determine the fate of your family, which is wrong. One individual should not have the power to decide life or death with your family. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a life or death
And
thing.
and the same thing. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right.
legally. English, my second language is my prominent language. I don't remember nothing else. And I struggle with doing paperwork a lot of times, and especially the legal terminology and stuff. And the only way I feel like I could see myself getting through the case, like doing them myself and hold of those boundaries, is if I went into their law library. But I'm not going to go nowhere near them at this point. I'm a fear in my life. I don't know if you recall this. I was told while in court one time in the beginning before we went to video, I was told in court by a worker on stand on a report in front of the judge that if I continued to talk to them as the police the way I do, I was going to get killed by the police.
Wow. Wow.
So what do you do with that? That's the fear I've been looking at. At this point, you would think there's a state of emergency.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know what else to do about it.
Well, the best thing you can do is research the internet about all the details. You know how to search the internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't have money for an attorney, and I tell people they get an attorney if they have legal insurance. You know, they have insurance for your home, insurance for medical, insurance for your car, insurance for your pets. They have legal insurance. And I found two companies. The policy ranges from 50 cents to $1 a day. That's say $1 a day, $365 a year for a legal policy. And that will give you your $5,000 retainer or $10,000 or whatever. There's deductible with it. But if you have that in place, and all it does is you have to research the internet. I found out the best way to research the internet is how you first have to get a browser that works well on search the internet. And Google Chrome has been around forever. And Google Chrome is the best. I know there's all kinds of ones out there. The latest one I think is called DuckGoDuck. There's one called DuckGoDuck who's new, but you know what it is the way information is stored and how it's retrieved has all been designed by Google a long time ago. So if you use Google Chrome, that's the best. And then you need to format your words. And I always say start off with the city and then put the state. And if you're from outside the United States, you put the country. And I'm only talking to because I have 22 countries that come into this room. And then after your state or your country, you put the letters CPS. That's going to make the search zoom to all CPS in that city and state or country. City and country, that's going to make it do there. Then you write yourself a question after that, such as you want a juvenile law, family law, dependency law attorney. And it's going to show them, and there you go. You can get two of them you can talk to. I already gave you one, Vincent Davis, so that's your third one. Or if you want to learn about how to file a 388, or what is a 160 hearing, what is the ICWA 1978, the Indian Child Welfare Act. So you can do that after the letter CPS, and you'll get what you want. And you have to really analyze everything. You have to be also organized. I tell people to have a notebook and hole punch all your documents and have them divided by subject dividers so you can find information quick. You need to start what's called an instant log. It's never too late to start one. But what you do is you write down every incident with every kinds of person. You devote 3 lines on a sheet of notebook paper, and then you put your next incident, next one, skip in a couple lines. Your first line is going to have the information that if you did this over the phone number. If you did it in person, it'll have the address. Then it's going to have the date and time and the people involved. Your second line will be a summary of what the incident was about. And it's a 1-sentence summary. And your third line is the outcome of the incident. And if you don't know the outcome, leave it blank and fill it in later when you do. So if you have all these incidents 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll be able to see everything and it'll help you in your case. So documents is so important. Document, document, document. And you have right now your 16-year-old son. Also, you need to write a journal. And a journal does two things. It'll help you feel better. You write a journal addressed to your children. Because if something happens, you want to know how they feel, what you were trying to do, mom, how you're trying to, fight for us, things like that. And I know that a lot of people, journals sometimes can be depressive, but it also helps you to write. There's an old TV show called Doogie Howser, MD. It was about a young kid, he's in his teenage years, that was a medical doctor. And every night on the computer, he'd write, he would write to his computer what he did that day. All of us should be doing journals. It's a good way. And you don't have to be elaborate. You can do a 10, 15-minute journal every night. And you can make it addressed to whoever you want to be. But it's a good thing to have because it helps you leave and make thoughts about something. And you need to do that. Now, it's good to talk about it, but we need to do it more. We need to do those things. Have that notebook with all the information. Organize your documents. And then what you want to do is with your son, you have to put another document, another one you create is called a timeline. It's timeline of events. When was the knocking at the door? When were your children taken? When were you involved here? When you're involved there? So that timeline, it really helps you piece together your case. Because there's a lot of things the timeline can show. Also, all this information, the journal, the timeline, or the instant log, will help you fight your case. And then you put your copies of your certificates that were completed for programs you took, and then your parenting classes you took, the drug tests that you took, all those documents need to be in there. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because my attorney, she took me out as guilty of the paper she had, the bill she had on hand, and she was holding at the time. And from there, I knew it was. I've never had an attorney tell me that from the first meeting or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That made a minute briefing on what I went through. That came up. I just put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that for somebody like me, it gets easier, I guess. What they like to say, lying, and they have your children and your stuff over here, and you got things going on. But for somebody like me who's been hiding, to get lost, it's pretty to do that. Even though, like you said, we should. It really is hard to do it daily because daily I think in a survival at this point. I got to make sure we are maintained with our normal necessities of somewhere to sleep and eat.
Yeah.
Just exhausted, and I don't want to give up. I want to keep fighting, but I don't know how much more I have. It's either somebody comes in and helps, or I find that help, whatever you want to call it, or he turns 18.
Well, your faith in God will help you. Your faith in God will help you.
Yeah, that's definitely what's been helping so far thus far.
And I know how tired it is because I've been fighting for 15 years. And now, for the last year and a half, I've been coming on the show twice a day. And I've not given up yet. And I want to say hello to Bartley from Montana who came in. Good evening, Bartley. Welcome to my live stream. But I think also talking on the show helps a lot of people. No, that's what it is. People come here for encouragement. Corella, who's one of my active people, are almost in here twice a day, every day of the week. And then I have Leica from South Africa, who comes in, a 40-year-old mother. She's an Afrikaan, which is what the name they give the Danish or the Dutch settlers in Africa. They're called Afrikaans. And so she has a bad case of where her boyfriend was a pedophile to her child. And then the government over there in Africa doesn't care. It's like a pal's game. It's terrible. It's terrible. And yeah, that's really kind of sad there. Well, there's a specific question, Dream. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Now, go ahead. Yeah.
And the way I understand it is he's they deal with them. They're in Europe, but he's then strong enough to find but he was you know, make it look very complicated.
Yep. Yep. Corilla and Tony. Go ahead. No, I meant Tony and Corilla are in a room and they're sitting there talking to each other, which is great. This room is helping out. She's asking for help from Tony the Tiger in New York. Corilla's from Ventura, and she had a horrible day today. She's still fighting her eviction situation. I tried to help her last week. I tried to help her now. She's been evicted, and I don't know if she'll ever get her home back again. It's really crazy what they're going through.
Thank you.
Yeah, because we're not all perfect in this world. We're not all perfect in this world, and we should be taught with decency. And the child protection system does not treat us. I say it sometimes. It's like Alice in Wonderland. You found the rabbit hole. You fell inside the hole. You met the Cheshire cat, and the Cheshire cat is directing you from one room to the next room, and it's crazy talk, like off with your head type thing. But CPS is very, very corrupt. They lie. They retaliate. They actually forced my daughter to emancipate from her parents, change her name, seal her birth certificate, get a new birth certificate, take out a second social security card, and double draw for my retirement. It's sad. I cannot tell you how sad things are. Yeah.
We teach that the church in the community, so much involvement in the DMV with my situation. There's sometimes I'll call in. It's been how many years now with the DMV case, the DUI case? I'll call the DMV and I'll get a good rep who sounds adequate, like how the business should be ran. And on another day, I'll call and it feels like one of these individuals
Right.
like lyrically attacking me, saying weird stuff to me, like my rights are, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
the opposite of the situation. I'm like, what's going on?
Okay.
They're everywhere.
I have to answer a couple questions. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Dream. Don't go anywhere. Christina Reynoso, who's from Las Vegas, Nevada, a very helpful mother here who I'm talking to Dream Forever. Dream Forever is from, you're from California, right?
Yes.
Right. She's from California. And she has a horrible case. She's down to one son that she still is at home, but they want to take away her 16-year-old son, which is wrong. He has 2 more years to go. He'll be 18. He can stay with her. But anyway, hello, Parker. Good to see you again. Glad you came back here. And Tony the Tiger wants to know if Corilla can give her contact info to her. Corilla, is it okay I give your contact information to Tony the Tiger so you can correspond? But I do have to wind down this show because it's already 18 minutes after the hour. My show ends at 8 o'clock. I've gone over 18 minutes. Running time, I've gone over 3 minutes. I've talked for an hour and 3 minutes. But I want to thank Dream Forever from California for taking the time to call in and catch up. I want to help her. And I know that she keeps coming back into the room. We can do so. I've done the same thing with Corilla from Ventura County. And Parker, thank you for calling in. Tony the Tiger from Otsego County, New York. And I forgot where you're from, Parker. I try to remember everybody, but I forget. And I want to thank Corilla for sharing what she's been trying to say and how she fights her eviction and her CPS case. And she's from Oxnard, California. And then we have, let me see, we have, Lynn Autumn, who's from Iowa. Thank you very much for expressing your things. We have Bartley from Montana. Glad to see you. We've been talking to Dream Forever on the show here from California. And we have Summer Bradshaw, who I don't know where you're from, but thank you for calling in. I hope you come back again. And then we have, who else now? I'm trying to go through the list here. I think that's everybody I've talked to. I've gone through the top to bottom. So I want to thank you all for coming tonight. Not to give up, not to end. My show's recorded, so there's something you miss. But don't forget my 5 rules. Keep fighting CPS. Don't give up. Think about your children. You don't want to let your children down, so stay in there. Hang in there. Keep your faith in God. Remember, you're on that train in life. The train in life has 2 rails. The left rail is the circle of life. I got that from the Lion King. You want a big circle, but you want to live a long time. The right rail is the rail to the stairway to heaven. You want to get to heaven, but you got to do good deeds. The 2 rails are connected by wooden ties or strong. Keep doing those good deeds, and you'll get to heaven. Don't live in sight to have your faith in God. Remember, God came to this world as Jesus Christ. He'll come again. He'll come again. So God and Jesus are the same. So keep your faith going. And God bless you. And do not give up. Do not give you up. There'll be a brief video that talks about Mr. Davis. It's kind of a song that's got some good blurbs on it. So thank you all for calling in. Now, tomorrow is Saturday. It's the weekend. So I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning, not 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock in that Pacific Standard Time. on the west coast of California. I'm south of LA at Surf City, USA. I'm 3 blocks from the beach. So I'm here to help you. All you have to do is come on my show, be a guest, or call in. That's all you have to do. So with that being said, I want to thank Dream very much for sharing her time. And God bless y'all. This is Bob and Dream saying good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith